This video is brought to you by BC Racing Coilovers, ECU Master USA, Y-Plate Imports, Torco Racing Oils and Fuels, and Drift HQ. Without these guys, we would not have Drift Week 3, so thank you so very much for supporting this content. Let's get started.
Fielding, it's Drift Week 3. It's almost the end.
Yep.
It is so surreal. Can you believe that we're doing this?
At this point, yes. For Drift Week 1 and 2, no, I couldn't believe it. But now I'm like, okay, this is a thing.
What's crazy though is there's so much prep. There's so much getting ready. I've been here for an entire month doing this.
I know.
The whole thing is crazy. And then like, it goes by so fast. People talk, like, I always joke that it's like miserable and that we're working hard and all these things, but like, it feels like we're on day 2. But it also feels like we're on day month, like, you know, as well.
Say, speak for yourself. It feels like day 370.
It does feel like 300, but at the same time, it's been going so fast, hasn't it?
Yeah, it is.
I mean, like, it flies by.
Mm-hmm.
It is such a surreal experience. So instead of just talking about like how your Drift Week's going, which I'm sure you're having fun, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's been up and down.
Amazing.
It's I coined it a roller cluster.
Yeah.
But the first day was like such a ultra high for me that every day after that, if I just remember and think about the first day, I'm like, oh yeah.
And the first day wasn't even on track.
No.
The first day was just the mountain driving.
Yeah, and that was like a childhood dream for me, bucket list check, whatever you want to call it, just bombing the Toge streets with my car, with drivers that I have a huge respect for, going ridiculously fast.
You have a man boner crush for?
Yeah, like I'm just like, this is the coolest thing I could ever be doing right now. And then the fact that I did all that, I basically topped out my car, went like 170 something miles an hour.
Jeez. And
lived to tell about it is pretty rad.
I can't believe your bodywork survived that.
No, I can't believe the hood didn't fly off. I thought for sure it would.
And was Villains as much of a high too, or were you just fussing with the car?
So that's when my car started to mess up and I was having issues with it. I did take some good laps there, but I didn't get to do the backy. I didn't get to do the burst pass. So it was a little lackluster. I did hit the wall and hurt my car, which sucked. But the camaraderie in there. And
when you hurt your car, like that's a normal thing on that back corner.
It is, yeah.
You just keep fixing it. You're good at fixing it. No one can tell.
Right.
Like it's just, it is what it is.
Like, wow. You can tell at first. But yeah, I mean, I've gotten better at fixing it. I've had a lot of help too. Like Thomas and Max were huge help for that. So I don't know. It was kind of a bummer. But Nate opening his doors and letting us just ransack his shop was really nice. And it proved to us that, you know, the community is amazing.
He is one of the coolest track owners.
I can't believe it. Like, he didn't even, well, I probably shouldn't say that.
That was 2 days there. Oh, look, Chelsea wants to come be a part of it. Meow. Oh, God, that's loud. Chelsea loves crashing everything. So,
wow.
I had a surreal experience. Villains was such a great place to spectate, and like the vibe was so high. It's greater than the sum of its parts because it's out in the middle of kind of nowhere.
Right.
Nate refers to it as a destination location.
Okay.
It's kind of, you know, like built on top of a drag strip, not ideal circumstances and everything, but it is such a cool little track.
Yeah.
And it gets all the hype, like from the crowd, which you feedback off of as a driver.
Of course.
And it looks so cool, and the night driving was so cool. I'm just talking.
It was
you talk.
cool. No, it was very cool. I mean, I was, you know, pretty upset I didn't get to drive more there because it was such a cool venue. And I knew for sure that I would be able to get the line down, do the backy, all that stuff. It just had so many car problems that I didn't get to try it.
That was the one track. Oh, I guess I didn't really drive Evergreen, but I didn't get to drive a lot this trip because I didn't bring a car because I'm trying really hard to make sure everybody has a good time.
Right.
I was really jealous of driving at Villains. I almost bought a car to drive.
For real?
Yeah. Villains had like a cheap BMW, but then you're like, man, cheap BMW is not going to cut it.
Yeah, it's not going to get your rocks off.
Yeah, I'm going to want a real car.
Yeah.
It was like a $300 car.
That's, yeah.
It would probably feel like a $300 car when you're driving it.
You're going to be like, that was a waste of $300 even after one lap.
Yeah. So what was the highlight? Just the street driving so far?
Yeah.
Which is crazy because you'd think it'd be the track driving.
I mean, today honestly was the best day for me. This is the best track in my opinion. I did the most laps by a huge margin.
We're at Pat's Acres.
At Pat's Acres, yep. This is a beautiful facility. The surface is incredible. Like Chelsea, everything he said about it was absolutely true, and I'm so glad we came. I'm glad we got another day tomorrow. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I did probably 100 laps today, and I gave, I think, around 70 ride-alongs. So it was an amazing time.
Made some money.
I think so.
Enough to break even on this trip.
We'll see.
You're like, nope.
Yeah, probably not.
Does that help me having ride-alongs for you guys to break even? Because my hope is that you can do all the drift weeks because we figure out the method of you not going broke on them.
Right.
And then I get to retain the same drivers, like my core group of drivers. I want
Absolutely.
you guys, you're the first person to do all 3, aren't you? Is there anybody else? Brandon
Wicknick, yeah.
But not in the same car.
Right.
Yours is the first car to do all of them.
Yep.
If it does one more, no one can touch that because no one else's car is going to make it that far.
Right.
Especially not Brandon's.
Yeah, no joke. Yeah, surprised that, I mean, since Adam didn't come, then yeah, I guess that makes me the most consistent drift weeker. That also means I went through the most pain and suffering.
No, you didn't.
I know.
And Brandon did this
Yeah,
trip.
no, there were a lot of people that had to go through.
As we increase the number of drivers, there's more that make it through unscathed, but there's also more that blow engines, like Brandon Wicknick, who blew 2,
Right.
which is, oh my God.
2 JZs, that's rough.
I couldn't continue. Yeah, but 2 JZs to him is like $400 because he's doing junk stuff.
I mean, I think it's more than $400 bucks,
Yeah,
but yeah,
you
you're
know what
right.
I mean.
It's not.
Brandon Wicknick is
built.
balling on a budget.
Yeah, for sure.
So what do we talk about?
I think the achievements was something cool that we added. I'm really glad we did that.
So my problem was with points, we couldn't scale doing points because first of all, even with 20 drivers, it wasn't working with points very well because it was too many drivers and we run out of time for certain points things and stuff.
Right.
But doing points wasn't going to work with 45 drivers. But doing achievements, we kind of luckily came up with that idea. Who came up with that idea?
It was me.
Was it?
Remember we
feel
were
like
on the
it was
phone?
me.
No, we were on the phone and you were like, we need to have something that I don't have to deal with. And I was like, okay, well, what about like Xbox achievements where if they do something cool.
That sounds like an Aaron idea. It was really your idea?
Yeah, it was.
Wow, I don't give you credit enough.
No, you don't.
Okay, well, no, it was a fantastic idea, and it worked super well.
Yeah, I'm really glad.
Tell the audience what it is real quick.
Yeah, so it's basically just like on video games, when you do something cool, you get an achievement, you get a little badge, and here it's a sticker, a badge of honor to put on your car. And we collect them all in one area on the car so that you can see the journey that you've taken on Drift Week 3. And everyone's journey is a little different, obviously. Everyone kind of achieved different things, and then you can compare them and have a little bit of bragging rights and a little bit of camaraderie, like especially with the burst pass, right? If you do the burst pass, you both get one. So then you're both like, yeah, that was me and you, that was awesome. And you know, if you do the drag racing, same thing. If you have a slow poke achievement, then you know, like as I pull up to the line, if I see that, I know that that car's got less than 300 horsepower. Right.
I was confused on, there's a police one where if you get pulled over by the police, you record it and then you get one. It felt like people were literally getting pulled over on purpose to get it.
Yeah.
I don't know what that was. Were they faking it? Just asking police officers?
The
Were they
only person
speeding by
that faked
police?
it was Max. Everyone else was real. In fact, I witnessed Y-Plate do it. Trenton got pulled over right in front of me and I just split. I was like, I'm going back to the Ford. I'm not sitting here messing around letting him look at my
What did he get a ticket for?
expired tags. He got it let go, actually.
Oh, cool.
I don't know if anyone got an actual ticket, but everyone.
When I was driving back and forth from Seattle, there were so many cops.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
I can't believe that we didn't get way more like in trouble on the streets. Should I be saying that right now? Is that okay?
I mean, I don't know.
Some people were doing some dumb stuff. Let's just say that.
Yeah, people are doing dumb stuff.
And I think the hype really played into it too, because it's so funny what people will do for a sticker. Like, one guy was talking about, or Brian Pachal was like, "Oh, I want that. I want to get them all." And I'm like, "You want to catch on fire? Because there's one for that."
And he's like, "Let me get some gasoline."
He's like, yeah, exactly. He was thinking about like, how can I get them all? Because he wants to collect every single one. So
That's
I thought that
cute.
was just hilarious.
His car is a monster. That little tiny Z3
It's
is
doing
so
great.
good.
Yeah.
So there's so many levels to Drift Week, which we keep like. This pirate steering wheel was amazing that you did. Everybody had so much fun. I can't believe that thing worked so well.
I can't believe
the
it.
achievements worked. We added in pre-routed, beautiful drives with waypoints, which ended up being, I think, kind of amazing.
It was great.
Because one, it keeps the track cost down by not having to have so many tracks, but also you get a really unique experience. Like, I would say maybe, did you like that or Evergreen more?
I liked the street driving more than every track except for Park.
Oh, come on. That's just because you broke at Villains.
Well, probably, yeah.
And Medford was a lot of fun. The street driving was that good, is what you're saying.
Is that good.
I don't want to insult the tracks.
No, yeah. No, I'm not insulting the
But
tracks.
the togeys were amazing because it lasted hours and it was a unique experience the entire time you were
It
going.
was something you don't get to do, like driving a drift car on the streets, bombing these hills.
Texas, too,
We're
so
from
we don't see
Texas,
this.
where we get flat, straight roads. Like that, to me, it was such a surreal experience. Just getting to like see that from the driver's seat of my drift car was unreal, and I liked that a lot.
So that was a good addition to Drift Week?
Absolutely.
Just like the achievements?
Yeah, we need to do more of that.
So there's Drift Week 1 and 2, we had the Freedom Factory and we had the Hoonigan Bird Yard. We had lots of, how do you say, like YouTubers that were big. There was a lot of hype on those. This one had a lot less hype we didn't have a famous YouTuber,
Right.
except you. No, I'm joking. We know you're not a famous YouTuber.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm not one either, so I'm just whatever. So Drift Week 4 is probably going to return to the hype train.
Okay.
What do you think we should do for the hype thing? What's the best part of the hype? Because this one was real chill without all that extra stuff. Not saying I don't love having the YouTubers, but like it had a definite different vibe. There weren't all the people, because with 45 people trying to be friends with a YouTuber, it's very different because everybody's trying to get in the videos or like, I want to say it's a little clout fest or anything, because it's not, but it's a different vibe when there just isn't that here and everybody's mostly just a grassroots guy or like a pro guy and it's all about the driving.
Yeah.
Actually, that's not true at all. Drift Week 1 was all the driving.
Yeah, it's not.
I'm getting lost in this.
You are, and I don't think it's all about the driving. I think a lot of the Drift Weekers, especially in this one.
I'm sorry. Let me just say something real quickly. It was about the perception is what I was trying to say. The perception online that Drift Week had so much like YouTube-y stuff, and it was all about YouTubers, and they weren't allowing grassroots guys.
Well, so I thought that was by design because it was the first one. You wanted it to become a thing that's...
No, it was just the only people I knew that didn't have real jobs.
Okay, that's fair.
Like that could take 2 weeks off.
Right.
That was all it was.
Okay.
And also we just couldn't have more than like say 14 people.
Right. It turned into a worldwide spectacle though, and now people from all across the world are like, holy crap, I want to do that.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what I think makes it special, is that it's not just something that you can, not anyone, but, you know, drifters can go to a racetrack, rent, you know, or pay an entry fee and drive the track. But to have this organized group where we have a traveling road show, and we have waypoints, and we have secret locations, and we have, you know, all that stuff that is not something normal that people can do is what makes it so awesome. Yeah. So I think continuing that trend is the way to keep this cool.
I'm really scatterbrained right now because it's at the end of Drift Week and stuff, but I just had the thought that you are one of the early drifters in Texas, kind of second generation. You came in like maybe 5 or 6 years after me, but that's still super early nowadays because no one from my generation is really around except John Yim at this point that I can think of. And you stuck with it long enough to go through so many surreal experiences that you are, it's hard to like say it yourself or whatever because you look like a douchebag, but no, I'm saying you had a line of people waiting to see you and meet you today that wanted ride-alongs, that just wanted to meet you, get signatures probably. I didn't see what was going on, but you stayed busy with all that. Isn't that kind of crazy?
It is.
That you're now very slowly like nibbling away at being famous or whatever it is, that on the other side of the country you have people that wait in line to meet you.
Yeah,
isn't that nuts?
It is. I mean, I don't think of like, I don't have any desire to be famous. I just want.
Yes, you do.
I don't.
Yes,
I really
you
don't.
do.
No, I don't. We've talked about this. All I want to do is drive a bunch of cool shit. And because I don't have a bunch of money, the way I have to do that is through media. And, you know, then more people know about you and know you and you become famous or whatever. But I couldn't care less about that. So getting to connect with fans that are genuinely fans of my driving, that's what I like. I don't want them to be a fan of my face or my, you know, personality. I want them to be a fan of my driving in my car. And I think that's what the way that, yeah, exactly, they are.
I think some of those people would have been disappointed if this car wasn't here.
Agreed.
If you brought a 350Z, they would just be like, oh.
Yeah.
It's not the combo of Fielding in his car.
Right. And I understand that, and that's how I would be too. Like, I'm not a fan of Chelsea because of him. I'm a fan of his driving. You know, that's why I like him, because of his driving.
Do you want to talk about your new sponsor that you picked up for this trip? Because it's kind of, do you want to explain what it is and like how they're interacting with you and everything else? You want me to do it? You do it.
Yeah, I mean, so the new sponsor is
really
Core Culture. It's a supplement company that it's a new startup supplement company. Oh. No, they make nutritional supplements and nootropic. So the product that I'm trying right now is called Brainbox, and it's a real mild nootropic that you take every day, and it, you know, increases clarity and focus and mental cognition. But the way that I, you know, met them is I trained one of the owners and his 2 kids on how to drift, and they knew me from Hyperdrive, but they didn't even know I was going to be their instructor. They just signed up for a drifting class, came out, I was there, we had a great time, and he was like, yo, I really like your attitude, I like how you carry yourself, and I like how you drive, and I think that we should sponsor you. And I was like, okay, what does that mean? He's like, I don't know. What does that mean? And I was
awesome.
like, well, I'm going on Drift Week. It's going to be expensive. If you can help me with some of the financials and send a media crew, that would take a huge load of stress off of me. And so that's what they agreed to do. And it's turned out really good. You know,
So how much did that help? Sorry, I cut you off. Keep going.
no, I mean, it helped a ton. It definitely took a lot of the stress off of me from having to worry about wrangling media and shooting myself, doing every little thing, and like, is it in focus? Are the batteries charged? Blah, 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 all that stuff. Plus keeping this thing going, which is already enough work as it is. And then, you know, being able to not have to worry about editing so much and just focus on what I'm good at, which is driving. And I mean, I'm not that good at keeping the car going, but luckily I have some other friends that help with that too.
So you rounded the corner and like it's now worthwhile to do Drift Week, and it like pays for itself yet through the sponsor and through others?
Through this sponsor, it's finally like not cost me a bunch of money. It still has cost me some money, but instead of $15,000, it's like a couple grand, you know. So
Cost you $15,000 to do a Drift Week? I'm sorry.
yeah, I know.
I'm sorry.
It's rough.
I'm sorry I had to do this to you.
Yeah. The first one was 10, and then I think the second one was like 12, plus all the crap that I had to fix at the end. So you figure about 10 to 15K is what a Drift Week will cost for this car. Yep.
I wonder if you're upselling that a little bit, or if
No.
that's accurate.
No, that's accurate. I mean, you can look at like the money spent. I mean, just the Airbnbs and stuff is thousands of dollars, you know.
Yeah. I mean, you're on the road for weeks.
Yeah.
Because we were realistically on the road for 3 weeks for the first two. This one's a little bit shorter, but 3 weeks on the road and rooms and all these things.
And food, and I have to pay for all my crew, which, you know, has been growing each Drift Week, so that's just an added expense. This crew is the biggest crew, and, you know, with that comes more costs and more logistics that you got to figure out.
You need to hit a heat wave. You're wearing their sunglasses.
Yeah, they're not paying me for that.
Crunch,
Yeah.
stomp it out.
No, Matt actually gave me these because my sunglasses, like, literally I put them in the center console. I was driving at night, and my entire car is like vibrating and rattling so much that the screws rattled themselves out.
Oh, wow.
And the damn earpieces fell off, and I'm like, sick.
We need to hit them up.
Yeah, they could do
You need to
something
hit them
for
up.
me.
So what do I do for Drift Week 4? How do we hype that up?
Have you talked about what you already thought about?
Oh, I mean, I guess I could talk about that.
Yeah.
I was really talking about how do you think I should hype it up.
Okay.
So here, why don't I talk so much, but I'll say something, you can come back. So I have a couple different ways to do it. Drift Week 1 was the gimmick.
Right.
Just the whole concept was the gimmick, and my friends did it, and it blew up, and it was just all the people I knew kind of thing, and it blew up organically and accidentally because there's a bunch of YouTubers, and it was a really unique idea.
It was very fun.
Drift Week 2, the gimmick was the same thing again, but it blew up again. And it had even more like YouTubers like Hoonigan and stuff, and the Freedom Factory and all this stuff. And then Drift Week 3, the gimmick was there wasn't a gimmick again. There was like, it's all the grassroots guys. And the gimmick is one region, less driving, more focus. Like, I focused on the core things, which was a party almost every night that we weren't driving, catering, which was fantastic, so you didn't have to go anywhere, great tracks, beautiful location at a gorgeous time of the year. It couldn't have been more gorgeous.
Really,
this is by far the best weather Drift
good.
Week. Amazing mountain driving, just like, you know, all that stuff wrapped up. I'm doing a different type of media package this time where we're, you know, consistently posting constantly, and it's working really well. Like, I'm bringing everything together, but we didn't have the YouTuber craziness this time and stuff. Right. So I think for the next one, the gimmick would be, how do I say this? This Drift Week was all about driving in the mountains, driving on track, partying, and all this stuff. The next Drift Week is gonna, and this was more of a lifestyle event than the first two.
But I think this one too, you let in the normal people, and they all loved that because they didn't feel like it's too elitist. They're now like, oh, I could be a part of that. And a lot of them put in a lot of effort and energy.
They absolutely did
to make sure that they were like gonna be able to come back again, you know. And they did a great job.
And I don't want it to be elite thing, but at the same time, like, that's what makes it hypey. So the next time, I think that a great hype thing would be like a lifestyle event where we combine everything we did, but up a notch. Like, say for the lifestyle part, we were talking about doing everything at SEMA at the Hoonigan Burn Yard. And if that didn't work out, go over to the Hoonigan headquarters and that's not all sorted out or anything, but like things like that. And then that starts off as a huge party in Vegas for multiple days, which is the car culture coming along around, like kind of like Tokyo Auto Salon or something, or Vegas, SEMA. We would start out there, and I'd have to figure out activities for everybody to do the whole time, and like party and have all kinds of things and get them backstage, you know, like party tickets and stuff, so that I get them invited to industry parties. I get you in like the NK booth, and you know, like scatter everybody around for different reasons, because everybody wants to be there for a different reason. And then we go off and we drift for even longer. And it's like, yeah, it's like 14 days of drifting with 5 days of that, which would be 21-day drift week. And it would just be so over the top crazy. Yeah. But that also is like almost too crazy.
I'm gonna need a new car.
Right, so I don't know. But that would be over the top, like gumball rally stuff.
I like the idea of that, but I think that you need to make sure that like the fans still connect and stuff. Because I think if they're just like watching it and not feeling like they could be a participant, it's gonna lose steam. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe
but we have spectators now.
Yeah, that's true. That did help a lot. That helped a ton.
We have more drivers.
That helped a ton.
Okay, so anyways, what's your gimmick that we should do?
I don't know gimmicks. I just want to have a car that runs good and drive a million laps.
That's your gimmick, is a running car?
Yeah, like that's all I care about. I just want my car to do good and not break. We need to figure out how to carry fuel. I went through 24 gallons of fuel today.
Maybe we'll have a fuel truck.
That would be cool.
And then everybody will be like, it had 89 in it and it blew my motor.
I know, right?
And everybody's so mad, and I'm like, oh, hands off.
Yeah, that wasn't me.
So, I don't know. I just want to keep doing a better job and blowing it up. And I don't know how long is too long. Like even at 15 days or 16 days for the first one, no one wanted to go home. Yeah. Like no one's ready to go home on this one yet.
We went and drifted a couple days after, remember? Yeah. On the way back.
No one's ready to go home from this thing. People are like, oh man, this is too short. It's 11 days or 10, I think 11 when we do it the first day.
Right. I think what it is though is
with like 6 nights of partying.
We're all on this high and we don't want to leave and go back to reality. Nobody wants to go back to reality.
But if I make it too long, it's too hard to do and too expensive.
Yeah.
You're like, it is what it is.
Well, a lot of people are like, I don't care. I will quit my job. I will call in sick for a week. It doesn't matter because now that I'm
call in sick for a month.
Yeah, like now that I'm on the trip, I'm not leaving until I'm forced to. And I think a lot of people think that way.
I guess the real question is, would you do another one of these?
I would, yeah.
No hesitation?
I think I've got it figured out now enough to where I'm like, okay, I know what I need. I know the crew I need to be with me. I know how to like train and execute. I know what to fix on my car now. And I think I know what headphones to buy to block the awful noise.
The pain?
Yeah, I put a bunch of sound deadening thinking that would work, and like
it didn't do anything?
It didn't help. It helped at like 5% maybe, but I still can't hear myself.
You know what I should do? If you guys win some crazy challenge for the day, I have a 3-car wedge. Yeah. And you get to throw your car in the wedge as the achievement.
I love that idea.
That's actually hilarious.
Free transit to the next stage. That would be awesome.
But you'd also miss a bunch of the fun stuff.
Well,
you're like, as long as it's not a great drive.
What if you just gave them a free Airbnb for the night or something? That would be nice. Yeah. Or like, I
think I should just focus all the finances and everything on getting everyone the best tracks and the best everything possible.
Be cool if you had.
Get a pair of tires for the next day.
There you go, free pair of tires.
Pair of tires.
That could work.
There we go. We can hit up Felino.
You could also have like a hilarious joke beater car that like if anyone does a noob mistake, they have to drive that, or if anyone like wins some achievement, then they get to drive that. I don't know, something funny like that would be cool.
That would be cool.
We still need to do the other ideas that you had that kind of fell through, like the 2-wheel and the rally car and all that.
Yeah, I need to do that. I actually just forgot about that once the event was started. We were going to buy it and have it brought here. Chelsea was going to take care of that logistically. And I need like a production assistant that has a list, because I actually do have a list of all this stuff, but like with the achievements, I have just focused on the media the most, and I'm filming constantly, and I'm trying to pay attention to the driver's needs and make sure food's on the table and like everything's getting taken care of. And there's a party every night, and I have staff.
Speaking of food, huge shout out to Careless. Thank you guys, y'all are amazing. Yeah. And you have definitely helped, make all of this so much smoother. I would just starve myself on Drift Week 1 when we had no food provided.
Oh, I know.
I didn't even know.
It was rough.
Until at the end, I'm just like, I have the worst migraine and I'm starving. I haven't eaten in 12 hours. What the hell am I doing?
So for fielding here,
you
did Hyperdrive recently. You've done lots of like grassroots drifting. You've done 3 drift weeks. Yep. You've traveled to Japan and around the planet. What's your next high for drifting? There's got to be something. You're in a really unique position right now of having sponsors that don't care about what you're doing.
Yeah.
They just want to see you do something. And all you have to do is give them an idea.
Yeah.
What is that idea?
I haven't thought about that enough. I was just doing Drift Week.
Yeah.
This
I was
took
going to
all my
say, and
energy.
you sidestepped all the competitive parts of drifting, which I think is amazing because you are doing better than almost anybody I know at your level for competitive stuff.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't ever like competitive drifting just because like only one person's happy at the end of the event. And it's never me.
Yes and no, like, oh, because you don't win?
Yeah, I never win.
When you win, you're excited.
This happens like 4 times in my life, so.
This is the antithesis, or that's not the word. This is the opposite of what like Lone Star Drift is normally competitions because it gets everyone together and gives them a place and time and everything. I've always loved doing competitions and fun events like Bash and everything, but you can't throw 10 bashes a year where you can with competition. And I reward people for the competitions. We take them overseas. People are excited to get their cars ready for it and everything. This is kind of like the ultimate Matsuri event.
Right, this is much more of a Matsuri, and that's what we love from Japanese drifting. I mean, I couldn't care less about competitions. I just go because that's where, I mean, I know you make the competitions so that people will come out, but the mentality is so much different, right? Here, we're just having fun jamming together. I drove with so many different drivers today.
No, I mean, like, the comps in Texas, everyone's just jamming. You do that all the time. There's only 2 hours of comp a weekend.
No, but I mean, the mentality of the driver is like, I have to be serious. I don't want to crash my car. I have to make sure my tire pressures are within 1 degree. And
I always just smiled and laughed and competed.
I'm similar, but you know how it is.
No, you're not. I've seen you throw helmets.
I've never thrown a helmet.
Those are expensive. I've seen you get mad though.
I've definitely gotten mad, but that's when I feel like I'm screwed, not whenever I made a mistake. If I make a mistake and it's on me, no problem. But if I feel like the judges missed something or if, you know, something else unorthodox
What can I do?
happened.
You're the driver. I'm the event organizer, even though I just want to be the driver so bad.
I know, right?
But I got to take some. I drove probably 12 different cars this time, which is pretty amazing.
That's awesome.
I drove a bunch of stuff I've never driven too. Like, I don't think I've ever driven Cadillac CTS-V on track. Drove a 4th gen Camaro, which no one ever wanted to drive, but I got a chance to drive.
Yeah,
a lot of weird stuff like that. What can I do as an event organizer to improve your life? Like, what keeps you entertained for the next 5 years? Like, because maybe Drift Week's a fad. Maybe you do 5 or 6 of them and you're like, I've done that now. Like, you know, like time to move on. Although it's kind of like a drug. So.
I mean, yeah, it is so totally a drug. I haven't really thought about like what else to do. I've just been happy to do whatever crazy idea you come up with. I think
you followed me to Japan. You followed me on all kinds of trips. Followed me to D1.
Yep, I
both
did.
The USA version and the Japan version.
Yeah. That was in 2009. Did you know that?
I know.
That was one of my first events ever. I went with you and Chelsea in the back seat of the truck.
I wish I drove as well as I kind of do now. I don't know. Back then.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. Anyways, keep going.
What could you do? I think, like, honestly, having a mechanic on staff would be amazing.
So people could just hire him?
Yeah, or just like if you have.
God. We could have a mechanic booth.
Or like a team of mechanics that literally will either change tires for you or fix whatever, and just like, even if it's something simple that I can help with, if I just don't know what I'm doing.
What do I do?
You just take it out of the entry fees and pay them?
No, I just have them show up and they just work for, you just roll up and hand them a $100 bill or whatever.
Yeah, you could try that.
Maybe. You're like, no, entry fees.
No, I mean, I think it's like...
I could totally do it out of the entry fees, but I think that people would be like, I paid my entry fee. I get this.
Yeah.
I get this.
Possible.
And you're like, there's too many people.
Yep.
And they're changing an engine.
Yep. I think it's more about like, maybe you could do a time. Everyone gets, I don't know, 45 minutes with this mechanic if they have a, you know, level 3 emergency.
Yeah, everybody needs to bring a mechanic with them.
Yeah, they do. But that's just adding to the budget.
Yeah.
If we could somehow get sponsors to pay enough for Drift Week advertisement that our entry fees would go down, then we would have more money to allocate towards crew.
They've only been high one event. They were real low the first one.
Yeah, no, they were. I'm not saying they're
low.
too high. I'm just saying, like, if, you know how you have to just move money around to make it work.
You know how this works, though? Is the people with that just the super grassroots guys want to pay the entry fees, your sponsor should pay the entry fee.
Yeah.
And also, I shouldn't even say about your entry fee. You didn't pay an entry fee.
I worked my ass
You literally
for it.
didn't freaking pay an entry fee.
Yeah, but I worked
Why
for
is it everybody always talk about that and they didn't pay an entry fee?
No, we were talking about how to improve it, not about my personal thing.
Oh, this was yeah, okay.
Right? You asked.
That's fair enough.
Okay. So
You still didn't pay an entry fee.
well, I worked for it.
Go get my money.
Yeah. Those
No, he did the achievements this time. He did a great job. He did the pirate wheel. His job was to create like the the whole, like, to rejigger the point system and make it something new. And we had a bunch of fun. First of all, I told you to get bent. I didn't want you to do it.
Yep.
And then I was like, let's see if he can do it. But everybody always fails when they try and help me. But he did a great job. And you can do it next time in some fashion if we escalate it.
Yeah, it wasn't free either. I had to buy the wheel, buy the quick release, buy all the little stuff.
Yeah, but now you have one. And you can sell it.
Yeah, I'm totally
as
gonna
official
keep that.
Shredder Racing Pirate wheels.
Yeah, if you guys are watching at home and you use the pirate wheel, tag me and say thanks.
Also, you didn't pay for that quick release,
I did.
you?
Yeah.
I could have sent you one.
Thanks.
I have them on the shelf.
Give me one.
That's fine, I'll give you one. I probably have one in my trailer.
Yeah. No, I did. I bought that. I bought the pirate wheel. I bought all the little.
How much was a
associated
pirate
bits.
wheel?
I mean,
$7?
No, it was like maybe $200 for the whole deal,
Okay.
like the wheel and the
I
quick
also
release
told you I'd
and-
pay for whatever we did.
It's okay.
Which I paid for all the stickers.
You did
Anyways,
pay for
we
the
don't need to
stickers.
complain about this.
Right.
This is us bickering on camera. What else can I do?
You started it. No.
You're coming up with little ideas. I'm looking for big ideas.
Big
Change the
picture
world
idea.
stuff. I'm always looking for the next big.
I don't know, man. I'm just a driver.
Because I've been talking about this for years. Like, how do we do an Ebisu type thing? Like, you
Yeah.
know, just a whole cultural
Why don't we
changing
do
thing.
that? Why don't we take Drift Week abroad? Why don't we go to Europe or
Cool.
go to?
We can't get out of our own
Japan.
borders.
Okay,
we
well,
literally can't leave the country.
I mean, we can, but you're right. It would be much more difficult. But you asked how to break the.
yeah, I plan
thing.
to do an international one.
Yeah, do
I
that.
can't get out of the country.
We can get to France.
No, we can't.
Yeah, we can.
How?
I don't know. Wout got over here. We could totally go over there.
With a 2-week quarantine.
You were here for a month.
I was, but so anyways,
Yeah.
it's not going to be until at least 2022 for an international one for
Probably.
lots of reasons, including I'm having a baby. So I'm gonna have to go there, do all my research just like I did up here, be there for at least 2 weeks.
Yep.
Obviously have some fun, and then come back. Unless maybe I had someone that knew someone in France that could go do all that
Yeah,
work for
I
me.
could do that.
No, I'm joking.
I could totally do that.
I can't rely on anyone to go do it for me.
Yeah.
Because it's too important for the drivers to have
No,
everything
for sure.
happen.
But I do think if me and Excel like came up with a game plan and presented it to you, and then you like could verify it, or maybe like.
I still have to go over there and do everything.
Yeah, but if it was planned out and you could just go and spend
It won't
4
all
to
be in
5
France
days.
either. I already have one planned that I've been working on in Europe.
Yeah.
And it goes through multiple countries to
Okay.
make my life more awful.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's way harder.
Yeah.
But cool.
I
I couldn't
still
take this
think-
car though.
Well, you're telling me I don't think big enough. You take your car.
Okay.
Build a replica.
I know, right?
You're
That
just
would
like,
be
no,
easier.
it's too nice.
That would be easier.
Break the back more.
No. Yeah. Make this more crashed.
I just don't think we've exhausted what we can do in America though yet.
Okay.
And I think that the concept of Drift Week is kind of unique to America in a lot of ways, that we can operate these cars on the street, which you can't do almost anywhere else in the world.
Yeah.
And we have so much freedom here to be doing stuff. Wout still can't go to a restaurant after 14 months of this or whatever.
That's true.
It's like you can't do it in Europe.
Yeah.
Not now.
Not right now.
Not now. Not for at least a year or
Can you
two, I
believe
think.
we started Drift Week 1 when COVID hit?
Yeah, can't say it. You're going to get me demonetized.
Oh, you can't say the C word?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, so we've been doing Drift Week through this whole thing. That's nuts.
Yeah, no, it's crazy.
Just like pedal down, let's go, boys.
have any Drift
Freedom.
Weekers gotten it?
What?
Have any Drift Weekers gotten
Probably
the vid?
all of us have. We just don't go get tested.
Yeah. Okay.
We don't
now
care
who's
about
gonna get
anything.
demonetized?
Only thing drifters need probably is an STD test, and
Yeah. True.
poor guys. All right, anything else to chat about? There must be something.
I mean, I.
Oh,
just-
you said you're going to make changes to your car. What did the
Oh yeah.
explicit changes?
So I'm gonna do a 350Z diff with 350Z axles, or maybe 370 axles, because
Oh, because you've been breaking so much
freaking
stuff.
axles. I'm going to figure out how to get good front wheel fitment with good geometry, because I tried that and it didn't work out. But I do want the car to look cool. It doesn't look that cool up front anymore. It kind
yeah,
of
it does. It's fine.
It looked a lot cooler when I showed
No,
up.
you have to remember, this is like a Drift Week car, and it needs to function,
Yeah.
and you are cool because you're doing all these cool
Right.
things. No one cares about your wheel fitment.
I do.
You care about it.
I do.
No one
I
cares
care.
about it.
I want to see, yeah, Cy cares. All the
No one
photographers
cares.
care. Whenever I see rollers of these other cars that look fucking
Just be at full
sick,
angle.
I'm just
Just
like,
be at full
yeah,
angle.
that's the only way I can get away with it.
Yeah.
But
Passengers
the
aren't
rollers.
getting in the low cars.
the rollers, though, that's what I want, and I didn't get.
Photoshop.
Yeah, no.
You could
costs
just
too
mount
much.
your fenders lower.
I know it's not that. That's not the problem. It's the problem is the knuckle stuff. So
Okay. What else?
I'm gonna change that. I'm going to get comms just like Matt Field, because that is rad. Like ear muffs with comms that are built in with radio and everything. So
And you can just wear those while you drive?
yep, just wear them while you drive, and then when you put on the open face helmets, it's all wired in for that too.
Cool.
So you can talk to your passengers.
you'll wear like headsets while you drive
Yep.
down the highway.
Exactly.
Okay.
So that'll protect my hearing and allow me to like listen to music and talk to the passenger without yelling. Like,
Protect your what?
yeah, exactly. And so that's a big change. I need to get a defroster. I sure would love an AC of some kind, maybe one of those like classic car, you know, retrofit ones, something like that would be cool. This hasn't been a problem because the weather's been nice, but I have needed the defroster when it rains and stuff.
Did you know I've only done about 40 miles in a drift car during all the drift week combined on the street?
I believe
I don't
that.
even know what it's like.
Yeah, it's miserable. You can drive mine for this next leg if you want.
Nah, I don't want to be responsible for it.
Yeah,
I've been in
I
the
don't
truck
either.
the whole time, except at the very beginning, and then I was like, this is not going to work for different reasons. I have to drive the truck and trailer because I can't get it totaled.
Right. No, for sure. It's lots of little things like that. I need all new NK wheels. If you guys are listening, I bent and cracked all of them. So, thanks.
Oh God, how hard have you been hitting them? Those look perfect.
That's the spare. No, that's not
You're
the
like,
spare.
that's the perfect one.
It's definitely not perfect, but like I blasted them, especially at Monroe. That's where I just completely.
Monroe or Medford?
Medford, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Yeah, Medford, just like, and it was because of me driving like a jackass, trying to stay wide, and dirt dropping is no good. So, but there it was very abusive, and I broke a lot of stuff.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was, people were popping axles left and right from dirt dropping there.
I broke 4 axles.
It was wonderful. It was such a relaxed track and atmosphere.
I love the track.
Axles just didn't
atmosphere.
like it.
Yeah, and the entry was fantastic. I loved that a lot. But the just some of the dirt drops were too gnarly, and the way the track was configured, if you didn't want to manji, you had to go wide and like just, you know, every now and then you dirt drop and break stuff.
Well, I thank you for going on this journey with me with Lone Star Drift and everything.
Yeah, for sure.
It's now been 12 years, 13 years, 14. No, what year did you get there? 2007?
09.
09?
09 is, I bought the car.
So is,
can't
what
even
is that,
remember.
12 years now?
It's
You've been
been-
with Lone Star Drift for
Yeah,
12
like 12
years,
years, I
traveling
think.
around the planet.
Yeah.
Doing fun stuff, going on Netflix shows, doing all kinds of crazy stuff. Thank you for going on this journey with me, because you're the longest running person at this point, besides Sai, but he wasn't doing much back then.
Driving?
Yeah.
Sai doesn't even hold the camera anymore. He's just using a barrier as a tripod back there and just stands back there.
Just laugh.
He's now just like the camera, not the operator, he's like the camera attendant.
Yeah.
He's been demoted.
He
I could just
himself.
get a tripod for the iPhone and just plug this thing into the iPhone and sit back.
Yep.
Oh my God, I can. I can plug these mics into the iPhone.
Sai's like, I just lost my job.
Yep,
Sick.
everything will be in focus.
Sai will be drifting on Drift Week 4.
Okay, thank you so much for coming.
Yep.
I
This
look
has been
forward to
fun.
number 4.
Thank you for putting in the effort to do this, because I know it's a
Thanks.
lot.
I think it's more effort to drive at this point. This drift week
Yeah.
was smooth for
Was it?
me. The
Okay.
first 2 were miserable
Yeah.
from my point of view. The third one was a lot of work, like more than the others, but it was done in advance.
Okay.
It wasn't all done on location. So I used my noggin this time instead of like my brute strength.
Yep.
And then I think that's that.
Yeah. This has been fun. Thanks for
Okay.
the journey.
Thank you. Anything else to say?
No. Just thank
Okay.
you guys for watching.
Bye, guys.